Hi, and welcome to another episode of the SPI Vidcast. Today we're going to take you on a virtual tour of the Keppel Hill Reservoir. This reservoir is located, of course, on Keppel Hill, and this is how it looks like on Google Maps. There is no body of water represented on Google Maps, but there is a location icon. So you start off on Keppel Hill and you walk down this long and lonely road. As we walk along, I'll tell you some stories about this particular reservoir. Now, today, this reservoir is not used. It's just lying there, dormant, stagnant. Nothing's going on. It's not being used at all. It's pretty much forgotten. But in its heyday, it was known by many names. For example, Keppel Hill it was known as the Keppel Hill Reservoir. It was known as also the St. James Reservoir, and it was also previously known as the Keppel Harbour Pool. This is because it was used by many different people for many different purposes over the years. It used to be used by the Tanjong Pagar Dock Company for its shipbuilding and ship maintenance purposes. Okay, the Tanjong Pagar Dock Company is the precursor to what is today known as PSA. It was also used by the residents around the area for their domestic needs. It was at some point in time also even used as a swimming pool. And finally, it was also marked as private property, which means that someone had actually bought it over and owned it and used it for their own personal and individual use. Okay? So right now, as you can see, there's no one living around the area anymore. I only noticed two signs of human life. One was a plant nursery at the start of Keppel Hill. The other one was a old colonial style bungalow. I don't see anyone living there, but I did see a lot of CCTVs placed on that property. Okay, so there's no one here to use this reservoir anymore. Okay, as we approach the reservoir, we are going to go through some secondary forest and some dense vegetation. There is, however, a path carved out by those who had been here earlier. Okay, now let's ask the question, what does water have to do with the paranormal? Quite a lot, apparently. Not in any concerted way, but there are many instances whereby people say that water has paranormal properties. First of which, water can actually generate energy, for example, in water mills. Second of which, a lot of beliefs say that spirits cannot cross over water. Other beliefs state that water is the giver of life, therefore water itself has spiritual properties. And finally, water, a lot of paranormal activity has been found in and around water. So, for example, people have reported being pulled down while they were swimming. There have been instances whereby people have been attacked by mythical beasts, for example. Some people claim to see the Malayan actually in Singapore waters between the mainland Singapore and Kusu Island. Some people have claimed to see that. And in some parts of Malaysia, people say that there is a mythical white crocodile that exists in their deeper rivers. Okay, so I'm going to get to a bridge right now, and I'm going to tenderly and gingerly cross over this rickety wooden bridge. Okay. So here we are. Ready or not? Here we go. Okay. There, as you can tell, it's not the widest of bridges. We are coming close to the reservoir right now, and yes, paranormal and water. So I'm expecting to at least feel something when we reach this lost reservoir. I can't conduct any investigation because it's very bright. The data will be corrupted, but let's see anyhow. Alright, here, let's take a look. Here is the Keppel Hill Lost Reservoir. You can see that there are some pipes and filtration systems in working condition set up. It looks like they've been set up quite recently, and my best guess is that it was set up by the nursery. Don't quote me on this. I'm not sure, but I guess they may have been set up by the local nursery, plant nursery nearby. They seem to be new and in working condition, though. However, there are some remnants of its use in the past. You can see a bathing area. You can see some steps there, which might have been used as a diving platform. And there is this old sign that says, "Danger, no swimming and no fishing." This is because there were some tragedies that occurred there in the past. In 1936, 2 British soldiers were found to have drowned in that reservoir. This had caused the British government to ban all swimming activities in that reservoir from then on. However, it happened again. In 1948, a 17-year-old boy had gone swimming there and had also drowned. The British government had warned that the water is very deep and not suitable for those for poor swimmers. Now, if you take a look at the pool, you'll see that it is stagnant. There obviously are no currents there, so I'm not quite sure. Even though, no matter how deep it might be, if there are no currents, I'm not quite sure why it might not be suitable to poor swimmers. Okay, when I was there and I was taking a look around, there was a sense of eeriness about the place. Even though it was in the middle of a serene forest, there was quite a sense of eeriness in the place, and there was a sense of magnetism that the water had given off. So, for example, when I was standing at the edge, taking the shots that you saw in this video earlier, I felt like I was being pulled into the water, and I had to prevent myself from coming too close to the water's edge because I was afraid I might slip and fall in there. And a large body of water, when it is left unused, it has residual energy about it, okay? Especially because there was a lot of human activity there in the past, okay? So yes, this is the virtual outdoor tour of the Keppel Hill Lost Reservoir that I took you on today. If you would like to make your own trip to this Keppel Hill Reservoir, please do be careful. It is that the vegetation is secondary, but it can get pretty dense at some points, as you saw in the video. There are some parts also which are slippery, so really be careful. Wear proper footwear, and also please bring insect repellent because the mosquitoes there have no mercy. Okay, hope you enjoyed today's episode of the SPI Vidcast. Till I see you next time. Goodbye.